Hello, my name is Scott Peterson. I'm 6 feet tall. I live in Los Angeles, California. And when it comes to reading people, yes, I do think that I'm good. The main reason why is because of the power of observation. Um, I'm a hyperactive individual, both in mind and body, and something that you develop growing up with, like, I've got diagnosed ADHD, so I've been hyperactive my whole life. I consider it a superpower, but something you realize when they keep telling you to tone it down is the energy has to go somewhere. And, when the classroom is boring and you're not being challenged, you just end up spending that energy, focusing and being aware of as much of your surroundings as possible. Also, when you're trying to be liked and you're not necessarily picking up on that, it makes you a little bit more finely tuned to kind of what people are looking for, or what people notice, or what common threads you can pull for a conversation starter. I mean, I'd really say that's where my superstarness of reading people really comes in, is I can get into a positive conversation with someone like that. I can find a moment, whether it's a tattoo, a place where they were, where they grew up, some common fact, something that I notice or overhear, that will end up leading me an opportunity to hop into a conversation and eventually end up putting in a positive direction where there's a mutually beneficial result or reaction to said interaction. An example that literally happened today, and I swear to God, is I met up with my friend who I haven't talked to in like two and a half months, one of my good friends out here, and I'm not kidding, within 5 minutes after we shared the whole, oh, it's good to see you, blah blah, it's been a while, I just go, are you pregnant? And this is a dude, so it'd be him and his wife. And he looks at me and he just goes, why do you? And I was like, wow, man, congratulations. And he just confessed the whole thing. I was the first person to know outside the family, blah, 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 blah. And I will say another aspect of reading people is not only observation, because obviously the pause and the hesitation, that's when I really knew, but listening to your instincts, man. I mean, I think that a lot of us, are thermometers, and we understand what's going on and are in tune with other people's frequencies, energies, as well as the pragmatic rationale, logical conclusions and observations from which you can make and deduct from said reasonings. We just got to listen to it, man. And I'd say that'd probably be my second superpower of reading people, is just trusting the gut, believing in the instincts, acting on it. And the funny thing is even if it doesn't end up working out, it usually ends up resulting in a situation that does work out. It's Chris Voss, and this would be, not a superpower of mine, but just something. I love communication. I love reading people. I love the idea of understanding people's psychology, employing communication techniques to better present myself, articulate myself, tell better stories, everything along those lines. And he calls it labeling. So, swing the swing. Like, every time you're up in a conversation, every time you're going to meet someone, every time you're in a negotiation, take the swing. You're at the plate, might as well take a hack. And so you see someone that's maybe a little down, you go, rough day. Or something along those lines. And then maybe it's not. Maybe they're just tired or whatever. But it ends up leading into a conversation where you get a lot more information than if you ask them, how are you doing? Because they're just going to end up deflecting, saying fine. It's very good for relationships as well, but use it with caution. I would much rather be underestimated. I think being underestimated is a cheat code to life. There's no negative to being underestimated. Yeah, as long as you are capable. And then I believe I'd be unforgivable on unscripted series because I crush improv. I'm fun. I'm competitive. I'm funny. I love people. That's kind of not my superpower, but that's just like my own in person my own personal sort of take on is I'm just genuinely curious and fascinated by individuals, how they think, how they behave, who they are. People are fascinating, and the stories that they have are worth hearing, worth telling, worth listening. And yeah, that's me, Scott Peterson. Let's read some people.